The key is not avoiding strength training completely, it's managing the pressure within. Can you lift weights with diastasis recti? This is a huge question I get and a very big and common fear amongst us moms when we are trying to start working out again after having a baby. We're trying to figure out whether we know we can lift or not, to lift the weights, not to lift the weights. Is it safe? Is it not safe? How do we lift the weights? How do we breathe properly? Can I even do it with diastasis recti?
Hey there, I'm Celia, women's health and pre- and postnatal specialist, nutrition coach, trainer, and mom of 4. I help women feel strong and confident in every season because a strong you is an enabled you. You matter and you are worth being well. Let's dive into today's topic.
My advice is, and what I educate women on, is the key when navigating diastasis recti is to heal from the inside out with time, with proper rehab, yes. But this doesn't mean that you have to avoid lifting fully until your core is 100% improved. The key is not to avoid strength training, it's to manage the pressure as you pick up those weights. I am not telling you to lift heavy, okay? Again, small and steady, build, but you can. Being intentional to really engage that core and to make sure that you're using, again, connection breath as you're picking up those weights, as you're pushing through the movements to manage pressure is going to be vitally important, because when pressure is building inside the core and in the abdomen, that is when a weak core cannot respond properly or engage properly or fire properly, and it can actually worsen and weaken what is already weak. It can make that tissue issue with the linea alba weaker. That's also when the coning and doming can happen. So the pressure builds on the inside and it weakens and worsens our diastasis recti when we don't manage it properly and we don't manage it through that proper breathing properly. Those movements can cause that. So again, be mindful. Breathing control matters to every movement. It really, really matters, especially in the beginning. And the more you realize that, and it matters more with how we're lifting heavier long term. But yes, moms can lift weights with diastasis recti. You don't have to avoid strength training entirely. You can ease into that weight and you can do some lifting as long as you can manage your pressure, your breathing. If you can't, go lighter. Remember, slow and steady wins the race here. I do not recommend that you start lifting heavy loads. And that is something that you want to build, and it requires a form of bracing technique that, yes, you enter kind of corset, but then you brace, and that can worsen diastasis recti. I mentioned already those breath holds are going to increase pressure. That's more stress on a currently weak tissue with that linea alba. So that is not what we want right now. You can do it eventually. I do it now, just not right now. So start with body weight, start with bands, start with light weights, dumbbells, build from there. As you build, be sure to build with an awareness, with intentional breathing patterns throughout the movements. Always, if you can't breathe appropriately, lighten the weight. Take that consistent action on regaining tension and strength in your linea alba and your core again, so you can gradually increase those weights more for the other building of muscle through the rest of your body. And so that most importantly, you can move under that load safely with strength. So strength training can actually help the core become stronger and more coordinated and build it from the inside out. It's just, the key is to remember, you have to bring intentionality and movement and breath into those movements, and you've got to progress slowly. Do not do too much all at once. So in all of this summary, can you lift weights with diastasis recti? You don't have to skip them. Just don't go too heavy too soon. Ease into it is key. Being mindful of your breath patterns, of connection breath through every single movement, whether it's body weight bands or light dumbbells. Start small, build from there. Use a lower weight, build from there. Start with the basics. And remember, healing comes from the inside out. You will be so much better in the long run. Trust me, I'm speaking again, both educationally and from personal experience. My first baby, I rushed way too soon. And so I felt all that pressure, societal pressure, new mom pressure and insecurity of just getting my body back right away. And I did all the wrong things. And I had a 4-finger gap of diastasis recti as it was. And I worsened that. So don't do what I did. I'm speaking educationally and from personal experience. So slow and steady wins the race. Healing comes from the inside out in every area of our wellness. And it's so true with diastasis recti. So I'm not sitting on here saying, don't touch the weights. In the beginning, you need to first focus on basics. You need to focus on breath work, reconnecting that breath, because sometimes our diaphragm and our breath connection get off during pregnancy. So it's really important to really connect all of that again. So the first couple months, you should be really focusing on breathing patterns and those beginning low, easy, intentional movements to help re-engage all of that and to build with a strong foundation. But then if you still have a bit of a gap and you're just in that in-between limbo stage, which I remember being at, and I've been at with every baby, of like, okay, I'm not back to like a fully like to where I was, obviously, plus I've lost strength overall just because of pregnancy and the demand that was in my body and all the changes we experienced through pregnancy. But I'm not freshly postpartum. I have improved my gap a lot, but I still have a kind of a weak core overall, not there 100% yet. And I'm wondering if I can start lifting. Absolutely, you can. You can't if you do too much too soon, and you don't want to regress the progress that you've made. So if you're in that limbo, the whole point of this video was to kind of help you navigate that better in the gym. Yes, you can, but do so carefully. You have to do it with intentionality. Be very mindful of pressure management and breathing properly. If you're under a load that you cannot breathe properly with diastasis recti, pause, lighten the weight. More weight will come with more time. You will be better in the long run if you build gradually, including the weights that you pick up. Increase your loads. Seriously, start with body weight. Go into some bands, go into some dumbbells. You don't have to fear those things. Understand them. Understand the intentionality you need to have when using them. And they can be tools to help bring that core strength back again and help healing from the inside out if you do them right, if you do them with that intentionality. So again, healing comes from the inside out. If you're going to lift weights with diastasis recti, you're in between that limbo stage. Yes, you can. Be intentional with it. Just don't do too much too soon. Remember, prioritize you, mama, because you matter too. You are worth being well, mind, body, and soul.
If this video was helpful, I would love it if you liked, subscribed, and turned on that notification bell. And if you want deeper support, workouts, and education, you can find everything linked in the caption below or the link to the app in my bio. Thank you for being here, and remember, you matter and you are worth being well, mind, body, and soul.